Hello, welcome to Soulprint and your weekly pick your crystal reading. This is for May 25th through the 31st. I'm going with sort of soft colors here today. So, yellow, orange, purple. I believe that these are fluorite. This, of course, is amethyst, but we're just sticking to colors today. So, take a moment and see which crystal or crystals are resonating with you. And while you're doing that, let me just remind you that if you are interested in a private reading, if you just go into the drop box below, there's an address, soulprint888@gmail.com, and you can just send me out a quick request asking for reading information, and I will send you everything you need to know. Alrighty, so let's get started here, shall we? It's not unusual for someone to pick more than one crystal. Sometimes people just listen to all three and see sort of what applies. So let's get started, shall we? For this yellow, we're starting with the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Magician, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Emperor. All right. So you have two cards here that basically are about abundance. Center that a bit better. The Hierophant, or the Emperor, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so the Nine of Pentacles is talking about just sort of, it's like a financial security kind of energy, but it's really about success. It's about having material security. It is about basically being able to enjoy your life the way you want to enjoy your life. And everybody's idea of what is abundance is different. And so it really is more about your perception of your abundance and that allowing you to do the things and make the choices that you would like to make. These are really interesting cards because following that, you have the Magician. So the Magician is literally, magical, right? It's serendipity. It is keeping yourself alert to the magic that surrounds each of us all the time. It also very much can have to do, I think, with this grouping of cards, of manifestation, right? Because you've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. So you've got this financial security. You've got the Ace of Pentacles talking about new beginnings, new ventures, and the Ace of Pentacles just independently is about abundance. And then you have the Emperor, and the Emperor, again, is about abundance. Usually it is about commercial abundance, business abundance. And then you've got the Magician sitting here, reminding you that life really can be quite magical, reminding you that manifestation is available to everybody. It almost feels, I almost want to say, like this is a grouping of cards that's asking you to really sit down and think about what abundance means to you, and recognizing that you have the power and the ability to draw it towards yourself with manifestation, with belief, with understanding that abundance in many ways is more a state of mind, even though we tend to see it as something very, very tangible, like, the amount of money in a bank account, or the number of assets, or the amount of assets we have. But you can have people who have all kinds of stuff and yet they don't feel abundant. And you can have people who have very little, but they have what they need. And so they feel that they are living in abundance. And what's so magical about that is when you feel you're living in abundance, you simply are. So that seems to be what this is talking about. So I don't know whether you're coming through a period of perhaps financial difficulty or stress, and you've been sort of reevaluating things, or whether this is letting you know that you really are abundant, and there's always a new beginning. There's always a new something to start that can draw that forward. Perhaps you have been struggling with thinking about starting a business, or perhaps you're thinking about retiring from a business and wondering if you're going to have enough. But the cards here really are talking about a state of mind, a state of being, and recognizing that it is all within your grasp. And maybe what needs to happen is a simple reevaluation of what you consider abundance to be. But whatever it is, you have really lovely, lovely, powerful cards here to help you along that journey. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles is about successful financial, being. The Magician is about bringing magic into your life. It's about manifestation. It's about recognizing that you have all the tools that you need to create the life you want. The Ace of Pentacles is not only bringing you abundance, but it is talking about the beginning of something new, a new venture, a new start. And the Emperor is about abundance within a commercial, venue, business, that kind of thing. All right, so very interesting. Hopefully, whatever it is you're seeking in terms of abundance comes to you easily. All right, here we go. The orange crystal. We're talking the Fool, the Seven of Wands, the World, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So the Fool is it's a high arcana card. It is the first card in the deck. It is about leaps of faith, right? It really, it's about it's about jumping into plugging your nose and jumping into the deep end of a pool. But the Fool also reminds you that before you jump, at least look down at the pool and make sure that there's water in there. Okay. So it's about not being, reluctant to start new things and to take leaps of faith and have that sort of positive and hopeful energy around you. Because it's being followed by the Seven of Wands, so it's letting you know that, you may have found yourself in a position, or you may find yourself in a position where you feel like you are ending up having to defend yourself, or explain why you're choosing to do what you're choosing to do. The World invariably is about the closing of one cycle and the beginning of another one. It is about a period of time coming to a close. Perhaps it is, employment. Perhaps it is a relationship. Perhaps it is simply a change, a new and powerful change that you, in some ways, are taking as with a leap of faith. And the Knight of Pentacles is bringing you the understanding that there will be a positive outcome. It may take some work. It may take some effort. But the energy of bringing abundance your way is moving towards you. The Knights very often are about movement, bringing things towards you. So whatever this represents to you, whether it is some sort of a new beginning or a new start, it very much feels like it is following the closure of something. And it may very well be that people around you feel like, they're questioning why you're doing it or how you're doing it. And you may find yourself in a place where you actually have to try to explain it. Explain it to the degree that you want to. Appreciate that they are reacting most likely out of concern and love. But keep in mind that when something's time is done and the cycle has ended, it's time now to move forward. And because you have the Fool on one end and the Knight of Pentacles on the other, it's an indicator that moving forward at this time is a good thing. As I said, just double check and make sure that there's water in the pool before you dive into the deep end. I like these cards. These cards just sort of feel like a fresh start, a new beginning. And I really like that. And let's look at the amethyst. Okay, we're starting with the Seven of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Interesting. Okay. So we're looking at the Seven of Swords, right? Seven of Swords very often is about diplomacy. It is about not being aggressive. Sometimes it can be read as a card of feeling like you have somehow been shortchanged or something has been taken from you or there is a sense of betrayal. But the overriding message of the card is that calm diplomacy is going to get you farther. Because it's being followed by the Six of Wands, which is that card of recognition. It is the card of accolades, success. It's people looking up to you. It feels very much like whatever this situation is, you're going to find the right diplomatic way to handle it. The Two of Cups is talking about a partnership or a relationship. And very often the Two of Cups is about sort of an energy of it signifies an important union. It could be a romantic one, it could be a friendship, it could be business, but it represents sort of two energies coming together to create a relationship. Sometimes it will even represent a reconciliation, but this relationship is going to move farther ahead with more ease when there is a sense of diplomacy and when there is decisions and choices made that are going to bring success and achievement. So it is looking for the success and the achievement within this partnership. And the and the Page of Swords is just letting you know that there really is good news coming after disappointment. Sometimes the Page of Swords lets you know that the difficult times are coming to an end, or it acknowledges that you're now moving forward after feeling disappointed or upset or things not going the way you wanted or hoped that they would. So interesting, right? Because you've got sort of two cautionary cards. You've got the swords on either side, but what is the center? What is holding the center together is success, a relationship, a coming together, and recognizing simply that on either side, sometimes things take longer than we wish they would. Sometimes good things follow disappointment. And recognizing that aggression is not going to get you where you want to end up. It's about recognizing that the best success is going to come through this relationship. I want to caveat that by saying that if there have been a tremendous amount of disappointment, if you have always felt like you have had to either diplomatic one and conform, it is possible that your success then comes from stepping away from a relationship or being prepared to start a new one. Okay. These cards in no way suggest that if you're not in a good situation, you should stay. What they're saying is there will be success as a result of a relationship that follows disappointment and that has put you in a position where you feel like you need to justify or explain yourself. But aggression is not the correct energy to create the situation in the center here. Okay. All right. So thank you very, very much for being here. This wraps up the month of May. I don't know how that's happened. We're like just about virtually halfway through the year. Um, Enjoy the week ahead. Be good to yourself. And I will look forward to seeing you next week in June. Bye for now.